Thanks. Well, there are some people in here already. Hello. It looks like, and fingers crossed, I'm not going to get kicked off this morning. So let's see. We'll give it a little bit of time. We have a few minutes before we get started. Just trying to get myself set up, find the position where I can actually stand. You can see my whole mat and my head doesn't totally get cut off, and maybe just my bun. Hey, Ruru. All right, so we will get started. Welcome if you are actually getting to join live and do this with me this morning. Thank you for coming on. Like I said, hopefully I won't get kicked off like last week. If you see a little puppy come into view, that's my newest addition to my family, Ragu. She's feeling extra playful this morning. But yeah, guys, it's been kind of a gloomy week, and I personally feel like I've had just a hard time kind of kicking my butt into gear this week, and specifically. I know for some people it's been like a whole quarantine thing. For me, just really been having a hard time getting it together and wanting to get out of bed and not just like snuggle up in the mornings. And I have a little, like, some hacks. I'm a big podcast listener. If you've been in my classes before, you know that I talk about listening to podcasts. And there's one podcast in particular, the Ed Milet podcast, that is kind of like my go-to to snap me back into getting myself like in gear, especially when I'm feeling really lethargic or just like not inspired. So I'm going to read you guys a little excerpt from him as we start class today. And I just want you guys to like think about that too. You know, during this time, it's really when we're not motivated, when we don't feel inspired, it's how we show up in this time that really makes the difference for ourselves. Like, how we let ourselves just shut down? And yes, it's perfectly okay to like have those days where you're like, you know what, screw it all. Like, I'm staying in bed with my puppy and my kids or my husband or just by myself and I'm having a me day. That's great. But like, we can't do that every day. So when it's like you've had that day and now it's time to like go into day 2 and get out of bed, you know, it's those kick in the butt moments that we need to give ourselves. And I find that when I get myself to actually like do the things, especially when I've had a hard time getting up and like being inspired, at the end of it, I actually feel like a big self-esteem boost because I've committed to myself and I've showed up to myself. And at the end of the day, like that's what self-esteem's about. Like if you can't commit to yourself and if you break promises to yourself, that's what affects your self-esteem. So I'm going to have you guys come onto your mat. We're going to start on our back with eyes closed and we're going to center here. So just lay on your back. If you have some low back tightness, the feet can be flat, knees bent, or you can come out just laying, connecting to the breath. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And just like to start in this way so that you can really feel the breath come into the body. As you inhale, you feel the belly, the heart, the chest rise into the hands. And as you exhale, keeping that fullness, really bringing the attention into the breath and allowing yourself to be here and now. All the other things that you have for your Saturday. This is a beautiful Saturday, finally. Let them fall away for the next hour. Focus on being present and let this moment, the invitation of the breath, start that for you. And as I said, it's what you do when you aren't motivated that determines success or failure. Everyone has limits, and it's natural for motivation to wane over time. When it's happened, it's crucial to examine your mindset. Being unmotivated happens to everyone, and it's an opportunity to look closely at what you need to power through, and when you may need to step away to avoid burnout, overwhelm, or other challenges. By balancing what absolutely must be done with rest and relaxation time, you set yourself up for a long-term success. So let this be your time for yourself. Be here and now. Give yourself this hour. Be fully present for it. Because in showing up and being present for it, you're going to give yourself so much more energy for the rest of your day. Take a deep inhale. Your back. Keep the eyes closed, or if you need to open them, gently, softly open the gaze. Come to roll over and find yourself in child's pose. Forehead to the floor, knees apart, hips back. Arms extended. So we're going to come into an active child's pose here. Eye of the elbow is flicking up towards the ceiling. So that happens by externally rotating, wrapping the back of the arm and the tricep back. This turns the eye of the elbow up towards the ceiling. Arms are straight. As we inhale, we're going to rock forward, come to tabletop pose. Pausing here, shoulders over wrists, navel pulls back, belly super engaged. The action and the movement comes from the navel as you exhale. Come back, child's pose. Feeling yourself really connected to the breath. Inhale, coming back up. We're going to be pulsing back and forth here for a few rounds of breath. Really engaging, connecting breath to movement. Inhale, forward. Exhale back. And that connection to breath and movement requires you to be very present. 2 more like this. And we're going to have an opportunity to modify this pulsation, maybe taking it up to the next level if that's appropriate. If not, you can stay with the tabletop child's pose variation. On our next inhale from tabletop, if you want to level it up a little, you'll inhale, lift the knees, press out through the heels, find yourself in plank. Again, movement's going to come from the navel point. Exhale, take the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, shoulder over wrist, plank. Exhale, hips back, downward dog. Inhale, forward, coming to plank. Exhale, take the hips back, down dog. Inhale, forward. 2 more, just like this. Last one, this time as we come forward to plank. And again, here, knees can be down if that's appropriate. Shoulders are over wrists. We're going to come into Vashisthasana, side plank on the right side. So from plank, you're doing full Vashi. Inhale, as you exhale, roll the weight into the right hand. Eye of the elbow stays forward, shoulder blade stays on the back. Inhale, pick up the left hand, full Vashi. Modification, if this is too much, the top leg, the left leg comes down for support. Gaze lifts up. Really root that right shoulder blade onto the back. Arm is straight. Good. Or we're here, full side plank. Big breath. As you exhale, you're going to bring that left hand down. Hips are going to stay pointed towards the left. As we exhale, you're going to bend the knees, getting a side stretch. Good. Inhale, come forward. Turn on the toes, plank. Exhale, we're going to come to the second side, left side, Vashisthasana. Again, remember, variation, that top foot will come down, so it will look like this. Hand up. So we're here or here. Good. Inhale, big breath. As you exhale, take that right hand down. Bend the knees. Get the side stretch. Good. Inhale, come forward to plank. We're going to move now, pulsating back and forth from that movement. So plank. Good. Inhale, open it up, Vashisthasana, right side. Full Vashi. Inhale. As you exhale, take that left hand down. Bend the knees. Inhale, come forward, roll to the other side. Opening up, full Vashisthasana, or the modification with the top foot down. As you exhale, the right hand comes down. Bend the knees, hips stay open to the side, side stretch. Good. Inhale, forward to plank. Good. Exhale, open. Vashisthasana. Good. Roll. Oh, skipped it. Top hand down, bend the knees. Inhale, roll forward, plank. Exhale, roll it open. Vashi. Top hand lowers, bend the knees. Inhale, roll forward. Okay, bring the knees down for a second. Give the arms a little break if you need to. This time we're going to do that same movement, but we're going to challenge our balance a little more. So again, this is a matter of like, if you think you can't do it, you stay with the variation. But if you want to try leveling it up, give it a try. Maybe you need to push yourself today. Maybe you need to take a little bit slower, a little bit lighter. Listen to your body. This is your practice. All right, so we come back up into plank. Moving into Vashisthasana on the right side. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Full Vashi or modification. Good. This time, instead of bringing the hand down to do the side bend, you're going to take the hand up overhead, bicep in line with ear, bend the knees, then inhale, stretch, place that left hand down, roll through plank, Vashisthasana, left side, open up the arm. As you exhale and bend the knees, the arm comes up over in line with ear. Good. Exhale, roll through plank. Doing this a few times each side, full Vashi. Exhale, side stretch. Good. We'll do one last one to each side. Last one here. Opening up Vashi. Exhaling, side stretch. Inhale back to plank. Plank pose. All right, guys. We're going to move through our first vinyasa. Option to do traditional vinyasa. You bring your knees down for a second to watch this if you want. Or I'm going to do a vinyasa modification. I really love and enjoy this teacher out in LA. And this sequence is inspired by him. And he does a great variation of vinyasa that I really like because it really helps to integrate the shoulders and the back. So if you're doing that and flowing that through with me, we start in plank and we'll go to a full push-up. So inhale, exhale, push up, bring the knees down, lower the forearms down, extend your feet behind you. You might have found that you're off your mat. You're in Sphinx pose. Inhale, heart moves forward, shoulders on the back. Here, walk the hands back. You find yourself in a low cobra. Inhale, press up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, lower, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. We'll do that one more time so you guys can play with that if you're going to try that vinyasa variation for the rest of this class. Why I really like it is because when you get into Sphinx, you guys hang out in your down dog here, I'll tuck. When you get in your Sphinx pose, it really integrates the shoulders onto the back. So when you walk the hands back in line with the chest, you have the shoulders moving down and back instead of slinking up towards your ears. We'll do that again. Inhale, roll forward, plank. Exhale, lower down, push up. Knees drop, forearms drop, extend the legs, find your Sphinx. Inhale, heart open, walk the hands back, press up, cobra up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. All right, now we're gonna add on to this flow. Inhale, pick up the right leg, find yourself in a one-legged dog. Make sure the outer left hip's still pulling back. You're not dropping the hip down. Gaze in between the thumbs. Good. As we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee. Bring the shoulders forward over the wrist. Try to tap the right knee to your right tricep. Press the floor away. Get lift as you exhale. Drop that right foot down to the front of your mat. Maybe you have to inch it forward. Find your low lunge. If you are using blocks and you have blocks at home, go ahead, keep them at the top of your mat. You might want to use your blocks here for your low lunge. If not, hold here. Come up onto your fingertips. Draw your belly button back. Don't let the belly collapse onto the thigh. Right thigh is low. See how it's parallel to my mat? Keeping that, hands lift up, reach behind you. Reach out through the crown of your head. Big breath. As you exhale, take the left hand down either to the floor or to your block, to the inside edge of your left foot. Inhale, spin the right arm up, twist towards your right knee. Keep drawing the outer right hip back and widen the left hip point so you're not pulling your left hip forward. Inhale, big breath at the top. Good. Exhale, windmill this right hand down. If you have two blocks, great. Bring them to either side of that front foot. If not, fingertips are on the ground here. Exhale, pull that left foot in. We're finding pyramid pose. So it's a narrow pose. Both toes are pointing forward. Fingertips are to the floor. You're trying to work this front leg straight by engaging the muscle right above the right kneecap. You're not rounding out through the upper body or the mid back. If this is too much of a hamstring for you, you're going to use your blocks, or you're just going to bend this knee if you don't have blocks at home for this pose. So this is our pyramid pose. You're pulling the outer right hip back, widening the left hip point. Gaze forward. Exhale. Fold in. One more breath here. Inhale, look up. Good. We're going to step our left foot back. Find our low lunge. Again, take both hands to the inner edge of that right foot. Heel toe the right foot out. We're reversing out the way we came in through the tricep to knee crunch. So press the floor away. Pull the belly button back, lift that right foot up if you can, and as you exhale, shoot the right foot back up, one-legged dog. Inhale, come forward to plank, lowering the right foot. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. Forearms down if you're doing this variation. Slink forward to Sphinx. Move the hands back, cobra up dog. Exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. So you have your choice for your vinyasa. Side two, inhale, left leg up. Good. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Press the floor away. Exhale, drop that left foot down. Find your low lunge. If you need to for stability, you can always bring the back knee down. Good. We're opening up here into a side twist. So right hand stays down. Inhale. As you exhale, twist open towards the left knee. Left hand picks up. Outer left hip's pulling back. I'm widening this right hip so I'm not pulling it forward. Good. One more big breath. Exhale. Windmill that left hand down. Stepping into our pyramid pose. Right foot slides up, toes point forward. We're in a more narrow stance. Use your blocks if you need to. Crown of the head lengthens forward to the front of the room. Outer left hip pulls back. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, fold in. Again, hands, floor, or blocks. If neither is appropriate, you don't have blocks and you can't reach the floor, you're bending that left knee. One more breath. Inhale, look forward. Scooch that right foot back. Find your low lunge again. Take the hands to the inner edge of that left foot. Coming out of this the way we came in. So get that left foot wide. Give yourself space so that the hands can be about shoulder distance apart. Good. Inhale. Press the floor away. Lift that left leg up. Shoot it back. Find your one-legged down dog. Lower the left foot as you inhale, come forward to plank, and move through your vinyasa. Stay in down dog if you need to. Whatever is appropriate for you in this transition. And we find ourselves in downward facing dog again. All right, moving on. Inhale, pick up the right leg. Good. Exhale. Bring that right knee forward again. Tap the tricep. Exhale. Bring it forward. Find your low lunge. Right side. Left knee comes down. Right knee stacked over right ankle. We're right on top of our left knee, but not on top of the kneecap. Right where the left knee, the top of the left knee, and the bottom of the left thigh meet. Untuck the toes. That'll help relieve the pressure off the kneecap and the back leg. Inhale, take the hands up overhead. Anjaneyasana, lifting up, drawing the belly button back. Lean back, maybe baby back bend here. Good. Exhale. We're going to move into side angle Parsvakonasana. Hands come down. Tuck the back toes. Exhale. Spin the left heel down. You can take your block here, or right forearm comes to the thigh, right hand to outer edge of the right foot, or right hand to block. I'm going to switch legs just so you guys can see me a little bit better. So you guys are on your right side. Here we go. I'm going to take the block today because as we work here, left hand can stay on the hip for now. I want you guys to focus on getting this right hand out in front of you a little more. That's, again, if you're not in this variation, if the hand's down on a block or the floor, walk the hand forward. Feel how this gives you more space through the right side body. As you get that space on your next inhale, notice you get more ability to turn the torso up and bring that left shoulder back. Now maybe the bicep comes in line with the ear, full side angle pose. One breath here, big breath. Inhale, keep the legs exactly as they are, and on your next inhale, come up. Reverse your warrior, sending your left hand down the back of the left leg. Again, lots of length through the side body. As you breathe in here, think breath into the left rib cage. Get long. Even though we're coming back, we're not collapsing. Inhale, come forward, press through the right foot, straight in the right leg. We're coming to triangle pose. Right hand to outer edge of the right foot or onto a block, or maybe you're here with your hand at your shin. Again, we're going to work on lengthening the right side body. So I want you to think, if the hand's at the shin, I want you to kind of pull the right fingertips up towards the toes. If you're on a block, you're moving that block forward. Same thing if the hand's on the floor, you're moving the fingertips forward. Get length. As you get that length, inhale, roll that left shoulder back. Take it back. Open the chest. Whew, one more breath. Exhale. Windmill the hands down. We're going to heel toe that right foot out to the side, and we're going to reverse out through our tricep touch, arm balance prep. Hands are as wide as the shoulder. Inhale, press the floor away, pick up that right foot. Exhale, send it back. One-legged down dog. All right, from here, we're not lowering the foot. I'm going to switch to the side that you guys are on. So right leg is lifted. As you exhale, can you lower the forearms down? Finding your one-legged dolphin pose. Holding here. With the right leg lifting, don't give up on the energy here. If this is a lot, maybe you need to bring the knee down for a second, take a breath, and re-engage the pose. But you want to keep that right inner thigh lifting up towards the sky. So you're not externally rotating the foot, it's internally, or it's internal rotation of the upper thigh. Every inhale, widen the chest. Don't let the chin drop in. Gaze is right between the forearms. Maybe you hop that left foot in a little bit. Play with coming on to the tippy toes. Maybe you're practicing hopping up into forearm stand here. One more breath. Exhale, lower the right foot. Press into the hands and come into downward facing dog. Whew. Take a breath, close the eyes. Make sure you find that body-breath connection, especially if the breath starts to really quicken and you start to lose the smoothness through that flow. Balance it out. Find an evenness between the inhalation and the exhalation here. This is your moment of rest. A moment of rest to fuel you through your next side. Ready on your next inhale? We are picking up that left leg. Inhale, as you exhale, left knee taps the left tricep. Then you lower the foot down. Good, we're coming into Anjaneyasana, right knee drops, untuck the toes, left knee stacked over left ankle, inhale, hands pick up, belly button engages, cores engage as you reach out through the fingertips, and with length, you lengthen back, bending from the upper back, not the low back. You shouldn't feel this in your low back. If you do, come out of it a little. Good, as you exhale, we're gonna move into side angle pose, hands windmill down, right heel low, spins out. Left hand stays on the floor, forearm comes up to thigh, or you have your block. Good, we're working on length here. So again, forearms on the thigh, think kind of get, it's harder to do with the forearm on the thigh, but bring it to the outer edge of the knee like here. And with every inhale, get more length through the left side body, hand on the block or hand on the floor, move it forward, get lots of length, and then with your next exhale, rotate open even more. Good, one more breath here. Keep the legs unchanged, super strong. Inhale, come up, reverse your warrior. Right hand walking down the back of the right thigh. Next, inhale, big breath, focus it into the right side of the rib cage. Get length here, we're not collapsing down. Good, inhale, straighten that left leg. Left hand comes down to your block, to the shin, to the floor. Inhale, get length, walk those fingertips forward or reach them towards your toes. Exhale, can you open the rib cage more now that you've found length through the left side? One more breath, exhale. Windmill that top hand down, spin off your back toes, your right toes. Walk the left foot out. Reversing just the way we came in, hands shoulder distance apart. Inhale, press the floor away, pick up the left foot, send it back, one-legged dog. Going right into dolphin pose, second side, exhale. Bring the forearms down. Keep the gaze in between the forearms, belly button draws back. That back leg, the left leg, is lifting from the inner thigh. So the toes are pointing straight down and that foot is flexed. Whew. Maybe, and the dog's barking. Maybe you bend that right knee, starting to rock. Perhaps you come into forearm stand. Guys, I'm sorry about that. Keep going. One more breath here. Good. Exhale. Lower your left foot down. Oh, no, keep it high. Press through the hands. Find yourself in your one-legged dog. Now lower that left foot down. Stay in your down dog, or if you like, move through your vinyasa. All right. Exhale. All meeting in down dog. Dropping the knees down. As we drop the knees down, come to sit back. Toes are tucked under. So with the toes tucked under here, getting a little stretch for the tops of our feet. This can be super intense. So try and hold it here for as long as you can. If you can't, you're gonna just come to this variation right here. We're gonna come into a little bit of a back bend here. So grab a hold of the rib cage, draw the elbows back. We're just gonna give ourselves a little manual assist. So what we wanna avoid anytime we're doing the back bends, and think about we did Anjaneyasana at the start of each of those flows that we just did from each side. A lot of times when we're back bending, we're getting into our low back. We're popping our belly forward like I am right now, and we're crunching into our low back. We want to resist that. What the back bend should be coming from our upper to mid back so that our low back is protected and our core is stabilizing us and providing that great foundation for us to back bend over. So we're going to work on that here again, and then we're going to add Anjaneya again at the end of our next flow. And I really want you guys to think about that core activation. So belly moves back. Take your hands to your rib cage. Now give yourself a manual, like lift up, and see how my thumbs wraps behind my rib cage. You see that? So you're like, whoop, whoop. The thumbs on the back side here. Inhale, draw the belly button back. Elbows move towards one another. You're going to lift yourself up. You're like moving the flesh of your skin up, drawing the navel back, and then bending the upper back over your thumbs. So it's like you have a bolster there, and that's your thumb. That's where the upper back bend's coming. It's not going into the low back. Good, exhale, release. Oh, my toes are on fire. If you haven't untucked them yet, feel free to, or you can keep going at it. I'm going to do one more stretch here. Whew. All right. We're going to do just a little bit of a twist. Toes tucked or untucked, up to you, up to your poison today. Inhale, lift arms up overhead. Again, belly pulls back. As you exhale, rotate the torso to the right, taking the right hand, reaching it towards the back of your mat. Inhale, broaden the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist open to the left. Holding here. Good, inhale, come back to center. We'll make this more of a dynamic movement. Good, inhaling at the top, exhaling open. Inhale at the top. Exhale, open. As you turn to the opposite side, resist pulling. So as I turn to the right, you want to resist pulling that left hip point forward. We'll do one more set to each side. So this is our last set. Finishing up left side, come back to center, lift up, reach back, find that baby back bend. Remember, keep the core strong. Exhale, bring the hands down. Whew. All right. We're going to move into some standing balance play, really working into our deep stabilizing muscles, and we'll play with eagle pose. If you're at home and on a carpet, it's like a bonus workout because it's a lot less stable on a carpet than it is on the wood floor in the studio. So be forgiving of yourself and keep that in mind. These poses can be a lot harder if you're working through them on a carpeted floor. So sitting back on your heels, bring your hands out wide. We're going to do eagle hands. You guys should stay facing forward. I'm just turning myself so you guys can see me. Inhale as you exhale, right hand wraps over left. Eagle arms. Good. Open the chest with your inhale. Keep pulling the belly button back. And then you're going to try and keep lifting the elbows away from the floor. The more the elbows lift up, the more you should feel the stretch through the shoulders. All right, we're going to move into our standing balance. Keep eagle arms if you can as we transition. So the right foot's going to come forward on the mat. So you find yourself in a slow lunge variation. If you can, you're going to try and challenge yourself and not tuck the toes under to push yourself off. That can happen if you need to push yourself off. Or you can put more weight, stamp through your right heel, drag this left foot up, bring it across the right, finding your eagle pose. The more you drop the hips here, the easier it is to get that top leg across. Keep lifting the elbows up, hugging the belly button back. All right, keep the elbows lifted, but as you exhale, draw The navel back, hinge at the hips and crunch down. Good. Inhale, come up. Unwrap the legs. Keep stamping through that right foot. Maybe you need to bring a soft bend to the right knee so you don't have so much pressure in that right knee. And as you exhale, extend the left leg behind you. Warrior three. Eagle arms. One breath. Keep lifting the elbows up. Chest broadens. Exhale. Release the hands. Keep your warrior three leg. Inhale. Can you bring that left knee in and up towards your chest? Perfect. Squeeze the knee up. Engage the low belly. As you exhale, you're crossing your left ankle in front of your right knee. You should be facing towards the front of your mat. Keep the legs. Exhale. We're going to fold forward. That left foot's super flex. The more you flex that left foot, the more you'll feel the stretch the outer left hip, and that's what we want here. Good. Inhale. As we exhale, the left hand's going to stay down, and we're going to rotate open, twisting to the right. Don't pull that outer left hip point with you. Pull the outer left hip back. Squeeze the right butt cheek a lot. That's just deep stabilizing muscle, the glute. Ooh, exhale. Right hand comes down. Inhale, and then as you exhale, take it lifting up the left hand. Good. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. My right leg's on fire. We're not done here. Inhale, come back up. Good. Draw the left knee into the chest. Squeeze the low belly. As you exhale, can you reach that left foot back? We're going to find crescent lunge. Bring the left knee down. I told you got Anjaneyasana again. So guys, remember that back bending motion, that little self-adjustment you gave. Imagine your thumbs at the under part of your rib cage. As you inhale, lift up, exhale, back, bending over those thumbs. They're not there, but just remembering that positioning. Whew. Exhale, lower the hands. Good, we're gonna step back, move through a vinyasa, or you stay in your down dog. Doing my push-up variation, knees down, legs long, forearms down, Sphinx pose, up into cobra up dog. Oh, second side, here we go. We're lifting the left, oh no, we're knees down, eagle pose. All right, you might want to move yourself forward as you come back to your mat. That way, when you step it into your lunge, you're not all the way back on your mat and you have room to move into the rest of the poses. So adjust yourself, arms out, inhale, up, exhale, left arm over right this time. Pick the elbows up, draw the navel back. All right, left foot's gonna come forward. Here we go. Second side always seems to be easier because we get down the flow. We know where we're going. Left foot forward. Inhale, squeeze that right foot up and around. Drop the hips to help you get the wrap. All right, elbows lifting. Chest engaged. Oh, big breath. Unwrap that right leg. Tilt the hips forward, hinge at the waist. Send the right foot behind you. Warrior three. Outer left hip pulls down. The right hip point stays pointing down at the floor, so you're not opening up. Right toes are pointed straight down. One more breath. Exhale. Undo the hands. Keep the legs as they are. Inhale. Right knee pulls into the chest, engaging the low belly. Good, and then we do that figure four, crossing the right foot over the left kneecap. Good, exhale, hinge, forward, twist, down, or sorry, don't twist yet. Inhale, bend forward. Make sure you really got that right foot flexed and engaged. I want you guys to get into the stretch of that outer hip. Good. Inhale. Keep the right hand down as you exhale. Twist open to the left. Keep that right hip pulling back. So see how it wants to pull forward? Keep it pulling back. Good. One more deep inhale, exhale. Come back to center. Inhale. And as you exhale, keep that left hand down. Reach up through the right fingertips. This time, make sure that outer left keeps pulling back. Good. Inhale, exhale. Come back to center. We're standing back up. Really widen the base of that left foot. The whole stretch through all four corners of the left foot. Get your foundation strong as you inhale. Rise up. Draw the right knee into your chest. Good. Exhale. Extend that right foot behind you. Find your crescent lunge. Good. Exhale. Right knee comes down. Untuck the toes. Inhale. Lift up. Anjaneyasana, finding your back bend. Good. Exhale, take the hands down. Come onto your knees. Come to sit at the back of your mat. We're going to move into Malasana. And from Malasana, we're going to go into some Bakasana arm balance variations. So we're just going to play with Bakasana Day. If you don't know what Bakasana crow pose is and you've never done it before, keep a sense of humor. Play. You're at home and visualize it. So I'll show you guys and we'll talk through it and then we'll do it all together. So we're going to start in Malasana. Feet are wide. Heels pointing out, toes pointing out, hips down. If you were with me or did last week's class in your Malasana, I want you guys to think about pressing out more through the outer edges of the feet and then energetically pulling the heels towards one another. This will pick your butt up a little, but this will help you get into your glutes more. And that's where we want to be right now. All right. So we're holding here. As we exhale, we're going to place the hands down. All right. So here we play. Hands come forward. Shoulder blades stay on the back. So you're not rounding forward here. Shoulder blades stay back. Elbows bend. You're going to come up, rock forward, come onto your tippy toes. And adjust. Maybe the feet walk in. The knees are up as high as they can go on my forearms. I like to put them towards the outer edges of my forearms, but they can also be right at the back. So you should play with that for yourself here. Then as you inhale, draw. So you really see this. Draw the belly button back. Rounding through the mid-back. That's going to be your wing. So as I do that, I come from here. I engage and I breathe in. Now, bend and shift the weight forward, coming onto your toes. Maybe one foot lifts. Maybe the other foot lifts, and we hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, find Malasana. All right, so we're still in Malasana, we're back here, we're hanging out, stretching out our hips. We're gonna do that 2 more times, and maybe the feet aren't coming up, but I want you guys working the actions of the upper body as I talk through them, and I want you visualizing yourself in it. And maybe you can do this pose, but it's not for you today because you're tired. So maybe you're just visualizing, you're hanging out, you're being more restorative in this part of the flow, but you're visualizing because it's what we do in our rest time and how we choose the quality of our rest that will then make a difference as we go back into, real world mode, post-quarantine mode, whatever that's going to look like. Or even just like quarantine's become the new normal. So some days like I was really just didn't do anything yesterday. Like seriously, I was like, I'm going to be a blob, but I'm not going to go into my Saturday doing that. I'm going to get up at 6. I'm going to do all the things. And I enjoyed my resting moment and then I got right into it. So now that I've talked your ears off, your hips are nice and open again. We're coming, hopefully the arms are rested. We're coming back into Malasana. Place in the hands. You rock the weight up. You lift the butt up. The knees are into the upper arm. Chest stays open. Shoulders stay moving down the block. You come up onto your tippy toes. Breathe into the mid back. Lift the mid back high. Those are your wings. One foot lifts. The other foot lifts. If you've got Bakasana all day, maybe that right knee comes in to the center off the tricep for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Come back. Malasana. We've got a second side. So that was me bringing one knee down the center of my body and off my tricep. If you did that on the right side, you'll try and play with that on the left side going forward. All right, hands come down. Ready? Hips up. Puff up through the kidneys. Squeeze the biceps. Open the chest. Rock forward. Bakasana. Maybe the left knee comes down the center of the body for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back. Malasana. Ooh, ooh, ooh-wee. Press up through the feet. Lift up. Heel toe the feet forward. Exhale. We're going to drop that hips coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. We're going to do this chair pose for a minute. Shins stay back. This is our only chair pose in this class. So really focus into it. Shins, move shins back. Get the weight in the heels. Lengthen the tailbone down. Chest up as much as possible. If it feels like your chest and you're stuck down here, lift the heels. Seems like it might be harder, but it'll actually free the upper body. See how that frees my upper body? I have really tight calves. So tight calves, tight hip flexors. This is going to open up the pose for you lifting the heel. Guys, we got 20 more seconds. You've got it. I'll keep talking. Think about all the great things you're going to do with this sunny, beautiful Saturday. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs, fold over. Go elbow to elbow and just release it down. Maybe rock side to side, bending knee to knee, shaking out the hips, getting really fluid. We're about to take it down to the floor for some bridge. One leg lifts into abs. Some fun. All right, come down onto your mat. Get onto your back for some bridge, one-legged bridge play. So again, the one leg option is an option. If you're not feeling that today or you're tired, keep both feet on the floor. The distance I like to go is fingertips just around the Achilles. Make sure I get short enough. Feet are hip distance and parallel. So watch toes often want to spin out, or one toe wants to spin out. You can use your block here as a good kind of reminder. Even if you're doing the one-legged variation, it'll keep you aware of that inner edge of the down foot. So as you're ready, shoulder blades move back. They're pressing firmly into the floor. You're going to inhale, pick up the right leg. As we exhale, we'll press through the left foot, taking the hips off the ground. Notice if the left hip wants to turn down. You want to keep the right and left hip point in one plane. Right foot's lifting up. We're holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lower the hips. Keep the right leg lifted. We're going to take that left foot. We're going to cross it over the right knee, just like when we were doing our standing figure 4 variation. Now we're on our back, and we're about to take this in to a crunch. All right. So hands are going to lift up. We're going to crunch up, reaching towards our right foot for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holding up, shoulders off the ground. If the neck is bothering you, place the head back down on the floor. If not, neck stays lifted. You can interlace your hands. Let your head get heavy into your hands. This will ensure that you're not cranking on your neck. We're going to keep the legs as they are. Now we're going to do leg lowers. Navel's pulling back, low belly engaged. Inhale. As you exhale, lower that right foot down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, lower it back down. It's not touching the floor. It's just hovering right above. Connecting the breath with the movement. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Slow. The slower you go, the more engaged this is. We have 3 more. 1. Last one on this side. Holding at the top. All right. As we come here, we're going to rock up. And we're going to find Janushirasana. So that left foot is to the inside of our right leg. I like to go wide, try and get that right heel in almost towards the inner upper right left thigh instead of the inner upper right thigh. So get wider. Inhale, get long through the crown of the head, sit up, twist open towards the right leg. And as you exhale, fold forward, finding the shin, the knee, the foot. No, guys, I'll turn this way so you can see it. I don't want you rounding the upper back to go forward. I don't want you rounding the low back. If you find it hard to even just sit up here and not get round here, I want you to find a cushion at home or a blanket and give yourself a little boost up. If you're really tight, you can even use a block under the seat here. Notice how right away I do that. It gives me that length in my upper back so that I can safely fold forward and not crunch into my low back here. All right, as you're ready, we've held this long enough. Inhale, come up. The left leg is gonna stay folded in. Left foot is flexed. Right foot comes on top. Right foot's flexed. Anisabasana. Fire log pose. Right shin stacked over left shin. If your right knee is below your right hip point, on your next exhale, feel free to fold forward. Again, both these feet are active. Like I'm pressing them into someone's hand or even use my own hands to keep them active and engaged. If this knee is way up, you're working the hips here. And then as you're ready, we're inhaling, we're coming back up, and we're coming back onto our back for side 2. Guys, we're almost done. We're through this flow, and it is time for relaxation. So let's go. Let's get onto our back for side 2. Bridge pose, leg lift, left side. All right, find the position, heels in just to where you can brush them with your fingertips. Left leg lifts. Inhale, pick up the hips. So you press down through the right foot. Energetically pull that right heel back towards your hands. You'll feel your hamstring fire up. And we're staying here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips, pick up that right foot. Find your figure 4 and get ready for some abs. Extend the arms, draw the navel back, crunch up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1, keep the shoulders lifting, hands go behind the head. If you need to lower the neck down, go for it. And then we're gonna lower. Remember, lowering on the exhale, pulling up on the inhale. That connection of the breath to the muscle movement makes all the difference. It amps your workout up. It like pretty much, I feel like, doubles the impact on my movement. Two more. And rock up. Ooh. Janu Sirsasana, left side. Get that right leg wider. Left foot point straight up, back to the left thigh, connecting into the earth. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Finding the left knee, the left shin. Remembering open chest. We're not rounding through the upper back. We're staying open. So this is round versus this is open. See the difference there in the upper body, and then in the lower body, it's the difference between, like, can't even really do it anymore, but that versus that. Take one more full round of breath here. Inhale, coming up, keeping that right leg drawing in. Get it more parallel to the edge of your mat. Stack your left leg on top, both feet flexed. Remembering that rule of thumb, if the top knee is lifting above the hip, you want to keep that softening down. You want to stay upright. If the left knee is below the hip point, get extension, exhale, and fold forward. As you're ready, guys, inhale, come back up. Uncross the legs. Find your way onto your back, and we're going to come right into our relaxation pose. So if there's anything else you need to do right now, your body feels like it needs anything else, go ahead and do that. If not, you're just going to let the legs fall out. Let the arms open up, allowing the shoulders to sink into the floor. And this is your moment, one of the last moments on your mat, to allow yourself to be present and connected to yourself, to give yourself the rest, even for the last few minutes, that will fuel you into the rest of your day. The time that you take for yourself to rest and restore makes all the difference in how successful we are as we move into the other areas of our life, the other parts of our day. start to deepen your breath, bringing the awareness back to the body. And as your breath brings you back into yourself, start to bring that same awareness back to the physical self, bringing small movements to the fingers and the toes. Rolling out the wrists or the ankles. And on your next inhale, send the arms up overhead, giving yourself one last full long stretch. And then as you exhale, drawing the knees into the chest, grabbing a hold of the shins, and gently using this moment to roll back and forth on the spine, feeling out whatever feels yummy, giving yourself a little self-massage on the back. And then finally making your way over to your right-hand side and pausing for one full round of breath before you press yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. We'll close the class together with one final Om. And before we do that, I just invite you and remind you to be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to have moments of rest and relaxation without guilt. Use those moments, be in them, be present for them, so that they can fuel you into your next moment of action. Inhaling deeply through the nose. Exhaling fully through the mouth. Inhaling deeply through the nose. The light inside of me bows to the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions about any of the poses that we did, please leave a comment, and I can even make little videos to break some of the stuff down for you guys. If you have any requests for next week, leave them in the comments. If you have any criticism that can help me do this better for you guys, I love to hear it. I love improving and working on my teaching. So anything you've got for me, I'll take it. And please share the link, because it'll be posted up here for you guys to retake again if you want to get into it more. But share it with any friends that you have who you think might like the flow. Thank you again for joining me, and have a great Saturday. Enjoy the sun. Bye, guys.